So an update from Uganda. Well, not from Uganda, from here about Uganda.
Yes, basically.
So, firstly, in terms of the games we're sending, we've had loads of great donations.
Yeah.
We're just getting the ones in from foreign countries now, and the wonderful people, they won't want us to say this, but fuck it, you're being wonderful, so you're going to get some publicity. The wonderful people at What's Your Game have allowed us to use their courier service, which makes the costs very low, and they'll get professionally sent, and they'll deal with all that stuff, which is absolutely fabulous.
It is amazing, yeah.
So will be Monday when it comes out. Hopefully the games should be on the way by then. If not, it'll be in the next couple of days after that. Secondly, we want to talk to you about a subsequent project that the kids in Uganda are doing. What they want to do is they want to have more events other than the convention. Right. They want to bring board games to rural Uganda to help people develop ways of thinking that would improve their lives. Mm-hmm. And this is called Game Changers Uganda. And they're running a fundraiser now. And they have at the moment £170, and they're looking for a £1,050 target, which is nothing. They have 17 days left, and you can go to crowdfunder.co.uk/game changers and donate some money and help them out. Georgios.
Yes. What do you want me to say? I think it's a fantastic idea. Well, some of the attempts, and you can see that in the video as well, they're very, very ably explained, much better than I will do right now, about the ways they will use games to expand, to sort of show certain aspects of what games can do. So it's not just about gambling. It's about problem solving. It's about, interacting with one another. I mean, we all know that social deduction games, for example, allow us to become better liars, but also better at reading people and therefore empathy. But I will focus on the lying.
Well, they work on different areas here, and they've got this on the page that it says they want to show what can be gained from competitive and cooperative board games, drama that teaches the value of board games, art that helps the art in the games and helps people expand their horizons, active and team building games, story collecting and storytelling, just helping people get out in the community and develop skills that'll help them in their lives. So go to crowdfunder.co.uk/game changers. That's
yes. crowdfunder.co.uk/game changers. That was stereo. Amazing.
Go there, help these people out. They're doing great things. And fingers crossed in 17 days, they'll have enough money to have more outreach in rural Uganda and help people around the world enjoy games.
So here I am at BerlinCon 2017 with a rather imposing figure of Michael Schmidt, the CEO, guru, leader of Edition Spielwiese.
Guru
is a good one, yeah. And Edition Spielwiese, if you don't know, they're the company who are responsible for last year's Cottage Garden, and they're coming out with, I can't pronounce the name of the game.
Memoir. It's pirate.
I'm not very good at pirate voices. That's the problem.
So neither am I. This designer is quite good.
Put some spunk
Memoir.
into it. Very good. And so I found out about, well, not you, but what you do through the cafe, right? Spielwiese, for those who don't know, is a board game cafe that's been in Berlin for how long now?
11 years now.
Wow, 11 years. So
yes.
What was the idea? Why? Why a board game cafe?
When I opened 11 years ago, there wasn't... there weren't places like that.
Was Spielwiese the first?
When I made I found some in South Korea, and nowhere else.
Right.
So yeah, all the others came after me.
And so, how difficult was it to start a board game cafe and get people coming? Were the first few months difficult, and then it got better, or
no? It was hard before I opened.
Right.
When when I first opened, it was good from the first day on.
And why? Are you a gamer? Why a board game cafe?
I'm the first game that I brought to the cafe were from my own collection.
Okay.
but I'm not a collector. I'm a player. So I wouldn't recommend to open such a place for a collector, because all the games will be played, they will be destroyed, and you have to replace them. Collectors won't handle that.
And so, how is Spielwiese, the cafe, doing now? Is it running well? Is it running better than ever?
It's really running good. Yes, yeah. It's it's still increasing after 11 years. Yeah, I'm still in my first at the same place I started. It's a quite small cafe compared to all the others that are existent right now elsewhere in the world, but the situation in Germany is different than in other countries.
And have
so
you noticed,
it's quite good.
Have you noticed an increase? Is board gaming getting more popular? Because I see it, and it year on year gets more and more popular.
Yeah, outside Germany.
Right.
Board games were never unpopular in Germany.
So you think board games are typical sort of German art form, a typical German thing that was taken seriously by adults a long time
People
before?
tell that, yes, but it was quite common when I was young that families bought games for Christmas and played them all the holidays. So this is how I was raised. And there's still a big scene, and all the children that grew up that way are still gamers. So, yeah.
And so, you've had 12 years you run a board game cafe.
Yeah.
And then last year you published your first game. Mm-hmm. First question, why so long?
Why so long?
And why become a publisher?
I have a game designers meeting every Monday, every week. Every week at the Spielwiese, and I saw so many really good prototypes and helped designers find the right publisher. And yeah.
So Jeffrey Allers is a regular.
Jeffrey Allers
right?
is a regular. Bernd Eisenstein is a regular. And even more important or more famous publishers come by to test prototypes. Bruno Faidutti was here, Stefan Feld, Uwe Rosenberg, and I cannot name all the names. I'm not good with names. I'm good with faces. Yeah, and Quirkel, for example, the 2012 Game of the Year was first played in Europe at the Spielwiese.
Wow.
And yeah, I really loved that game from the beginning, and tried to find a German publisher for 3 years. And when Schmidt-Spiele took the game, it was another half a year, and it was Game of the Year. So
Schmidt-Spiele is a Berlin-based publisher,
Schmidt-Spiele
right?
is now Berlin-based. Yes.
And so, how did you? So for a publisher who's never published anything before, how did you get a game from Uwe Rosenberg, who's probably one of the biggest designers in the world?
I think he. When I first met Uwe in Essen some years ago, it was the first time I met him in person, and he told me that he had me in focus for quite a while because of an interview I gave on YouTube for a YouTube channel some years ago. Yeah, and this is where he saw me first, and he was quite impressed what I told. And yeah, and after we met, yeah. Oh, my English isn't good enough.
It's
for
fantastic.
That. Yeah. We met more often, and then he offered me a prototype. They offered the Spielwiese group a prototype, and said me, you could publish this, and then I said, oh no, the board game cafe is enough for me, and Yeah, I don't think I would like that stress, and the game became quite successful.
So
it wasn't. Pardon?
Your stand at Essen last year was full all the time.
Yes.
I was there. It was crazy. Did you expect it?
No.
I mean,
Absolutely
even with a
not.
new Uwe Rosenberg game and things, no?
No. It was clear that with an Uwe game, the start would be easier. But I didn't expect that we were the most successful publisher last year in Essen. We sold more games than all the others.
Crazy.
2,500 copies of a game is not usual for Essen.
One was to me.
And this was quite a good start with Uwe's help.
And so, how is the distribution? So, you're distributed by Stronghold in America. You now got distribution through Pegasus.
Yes.
Am I right? Mm-hmm. How has that helped the publishing house?
Pegasus came after. At first, I tried to distribute the games myself and find international partners to do the foreign language editions. At the moment, we have Cottage Garden, I think, in 12 or 13 languages.
Wow.
The Stronghold only has the US market.
Yep.
And then Pegasus came to me and offered me to make my publicity and distribute my games in Europe. And for me as a new publisher, this was the best that could happen.
Did it help that you were known in the industry, that you were a face, that people knew you?
Yes, yeah.
Vitamin B, right?
The first years as a gaming cafe was really hard to make me known with all the other publishing companies and so and because it's such a small industry, it's quite easy to know each other. We're really good. And after they watched me for 2 or 3 years, they saw that I do a really good job with the cafe, and so my relationship to the press and marketing people was quite good. But I hadn't. This was the level the relationship was until then, and with the publishing games. I now have to. My relationship is a level higher.
Mm-hmm.
So this was my biggest fear, that the relationship will change, because now I'm a competitor to them.
But it's improved.
It's really improved. Yes. Yeah.
So tell us about Memoir.
Memoir is a memory-based pirate game with strategic elements.
Well, I'd just like to say that you hear the term memory and most people go, "Arr," but I played it yesterday. I played it and bought it yesterday.
Yeah, maybe you can describe it better than me in English.
Well, it's a memory game, but you're challenging other players. It's not you're testing your own memory, but you're also putting other players in jeopardy and testing their memory. And you have certain special powers that change it from not just a memory game to a game that's quite mean and you want other people to make mistakes, and it's 20 minutes and it's really good fun, and I had a blast playing it yesterday, and so I bought a copy. How did you acquire that, and when is it out, and when can people get it?
Yesterday was the first day we sold it, and from tomorrow on it will be available in the shops in Germany. I think the games are still on the ship to China, and they should have arrived in the Netherlands and in Spain, and the other countries will follow. I don't have an English distributor yet. So maybe Stronghold will make it again. I don't know yet.
So tell us the future. What have you got coming up? Because I know at my local gaming group, there's an Austrian guy who's just sat over there. That's very good for radio. There's an Austrian guy who comes and he brings prototypes from Spielwiese. What have you got coming up?
We have 2 more games coming up this year. Another Uwe Rosenberg game.
It's along the same lines as Cottage Garden, right?
Yes, Uwe's evolving the puzzle mechanism.
Yeah.
And he's getting better and better with it. So it's like he did with Agricola.
Yeah.
He evolves his mechanisms, and they become even better with every game he does. So they will come now this year, and the one next year will be also quite impressive.
Another Uwe Rosenberg game next year?
It's the first time I tell it.
Ooh.
Yes.
Do we have a name?
Not yet.
And do we have a theme?
Yes, but I won't tell it now.
Oh, no exclusive for me.
No exclusives. To no one at the moment.
And so do you see the publishing being your main job in a few years? Or will the cafe always be where your heart is?
The cafe will always be where my heart is, and the cafe will always be the place where I get my prototypes. Always an exception.
Right.
But if you all the other games that I will publish, or let me tell it this way, I try to help new designers and new illustrators, fresh illustrators.
And in Memoir, I know that it's a first-time designer.
It's a first-time designer.
Is it a first-time illustrator too?
It's a first-time illustrator.
Because the art is fantastic.
Yeah, it's his first game that he did, but he's quite famous in the graffiti scene. Mm-hmm. He has more than 80,000 followers on Instagram.
Okay.
And I think 25,000 on Facebook. So he does really big jobs.
And he's a Berlin guy?
No, he's from Nuremberg.
Oh, he's from Nuremberg.
Yeah. Yeah, and the next game, Memoir is a new designer and a new illustrator. The next card game that will come out next year will also be a new designer and a new illustrator. And the big game that's coming this year is a new designer, a female designer that won the the Game of the Year jury prize 2 years ago.
That's Sophia Wagner.
Sophia Wagner, yes. And it will be illustrated by Michael Menzel and Clemens Franz.
Ah, okay.
So quite famous illustrators. Yeah, an exception.
And so when does that come out for Essen?
This will come to Essen, yes.
And do we have a name for this?
Noria.
Noria.
Yeah. Michael and Sophia are developing a fantasy world like Andor.
Okay.
Where it would fit in. And yeah, it's planned to make more games in this world.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
I'll let you get back to selling games. So, Michael Schmidt, thank you very much.
You're welcome.